Hey everybody, Eric here from Bloat Games coming at you tonight. Going live. I'm going to be live tonight for the next 2 hours. It's the final 2 hours of our Kickstarter for Dark Places and Demogorgons. Chapow. We just recently broke through the $7,500 goal, which adds 10 more classes to in the PDF version. So it's awesome. We're doing really great. Everything's going great. I have a feeling we're going to finish strong. I'm having a house party as part of the Dark Places and Demogorgons close, so I'm going to be pulling down some special guests, some people who worked on the book, some people who just appear in the book, some people who just know me for a long time and they're here to celebrate, and so that's what I got going on. So, you know, as people jump on the stream, hopefully I'll get some questions, some shout outs I'll be able to answer. You know, we'll be talking all about this. If you watch this later, hi. I don't know if you want to sit through the whole thing, but you might want to go to the end because I'm going to log off shortly after the Kickstarter ends. So that's the plans, and that's what we got going right now. While we're getting going and while we're waiting for everything, I will let you know that we have the Aliens and Asteroids is on Kickstarter. Alright, that's by Mobius Adventures. The people who brought you Mazes and Perils. You guys can come over here. You don't have to be shy. That's the people who brought you Mazes and Perils. And if you look in that Kickstarter, I'm a part of that Kickstarter too. Yeah, I'm one of the stretch goals. So if you back them and it goes well, you'll get an adventure from yours truly. So if you like Bloat Game stuff, you like what I do, I can tell you I like Mazes and Perils, and when those guys reached out to me, I was very excited. So yeah, so give them a few nickels if you got it, and you know, they're definitely worth checking out. So behind me, you see we got the Halloween decorations already up. The Batman Funko Pops, Batman chest figures, Batman action figures. Kind of a nerd. That's what I got. So for everybody who's out there watching, this book, which is by myself and Josh Palmer, but a lot of work went into this book from a lot of different people. We have people such as like Jeff Jones. He's our designer. He did a lot of the graphic arts for us. I did the layout, but Jeff did like the logo design and the Bloat Games logo design. We had work from people like Jason Shane. He added some interesting tables for our random monster generators. We had people like Bill Logan and Anthony C. Hunter who provided some of their text here. In particular, Bill Logan's villain quirks appear courtesy of DWD Designs, and then Anthony C. Hunter. He does the Skyscrapers and Sorceries, which is a white box, like a modern white box set in the modern city. So a lot of people went that. Tommy Stamper does the blue cover, red cover by Mr. Gary DePriest, and Jeff Jones doing the layout and the design of the logo and everything. Let's get the logo. There's a Bloat Games logo. And of course that's a play on the old Frank Mincer red box. So a lot of people went into helped us out. We'll go ahead and, since we got a minute waiting for people to get on, we'll be able to name them off. As far as interior art was covered. The majority of it is covered by Bradley K. McDivitt and Joe Singleton. Joe Singleton was somebody who I commissioned to do the classes, the work on the classes. Bradley K. McDivitt, he has a lot of the monsters and interior pieces. There's also some interior art by myself, T. Glenn Bain, Jeremy Hart, James Shields, Nicolo Avramovic, Luigi Castellani, Shaman Stockart, picked up a piece there. Dan Smith, I commissioned him, he did a goth piece for me, and Miguel Santos. So definitely got quite a few artists who contributed. But one thing that I did was I made sure that even though there's multiple artists, that it's a very consistent look throughout, so it doesn't look like there's a whole bunch of different artists. I mean, there's some flair. Every artist is going to have their own flair, but it all fits the context of what this game is and how this game goes. So probably hear a lot of people talking in the back. Got about 15 people or so here. Hopefully I'll be getting some chili. We're kind of famous for our white chili, and we got white chili, and then we made red chili as well. So hopefully I'll be getting in some of that sometime soon. I'll go ahead and let you know as the event goes on. Once the money clears, which takes about 2 weeks through Kickstarter, then on DriveThru RPG, I'm going to release what I refer to as the review copy. It's the one that we printed and sent out for reviews with the intention of getting reviews. I'm going to print and release that, and that's going to be made available for free, obviously, to all our Kickstarter backers. And we're going to use that to help so that everybody can chip in and help us find any errors, errata, anything like that. So that'll be coming in about 2 weeks. Basically, as soon as the money clears, I'll be able to do that for you. And then we're really pushing to have a quick turnaround. So basically, as quick as we can get it edited, we'll get it out. What's up? Okay. You want to have a seat? Want to join me? Come on. Hey, everybody. Say hello. This is Miss Jamie Bloat, the beautiful,
hello.
The wonderful Jamie Bloat. This is my wife. She loves playing every game that I make. But I guess you could say welcome to our house.
Yep, welcome.
So what do you think about Dark Places and Demogorgons?
I think it's super fun as far as like, you know, being in the 80s and just having kind of bringing back so many memories and so many fun times. And I mean, even if you weren't around in the 80s, it was such a fun time with so many colorful people and very interesting fashion and music, and so it's all a fun time.
So now you obviously are too young to be a child of the 80s.
Obviously.
But are you familiar with any 80s movies or music?
Of course. I'm married to you, so.
Who's your favorite 80s music artist?
Michael Jackson.
Right answer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And what's your favorite 80s movie?
That's harder. I don't know if I could pick. When did E.T. come out? It's officially
it's in the 80s,
right? Okay,
yeah.
E.T.
E.T.?
Yep.
Okay, you'd be wrong, but it's a good choice. So
I gotta go get stuff out of the oven.
All right, have fun. Bye, Jamie. So that's my wife. She's running around here while I'm down here talking to a phone. All right, so back to the book itself. Like I said, once that comes out, then everybody will be able to help out. But as soon as we can get the final edit done, get the book turned around, the Kickstarter says that the planned release is due by May of 2018. I want to get it out well before that. So anybody who has it and is interested in the game will let you know that you're going to get it sooner. Hopefully, though, at least with the review edition coming out in PDF, maybe you'll be able to get in some Halloween games using Dark Places and Demogorgons. Anybody who's familiar with D&D be able to pick it up and go right away. So we're also in the process right now of getting a laptop up, and once we do that, we'll be able to answer all of your questions. I'll try to catch them as they come in, but sometimes it's hard on the phone, which is what I'm recording this on. You hear my dogs barking, going crazy, and they went out. They don't understand why all these people are here. So, hey Jamie, got the laptop up? So, wow! Right before we went live, the Kickstarter was just at right above 7,500, with 250-ish backers. I believe it was like 257. It was over 250. So it is definitely moving up. Hey Perry, you want to jump in down here?
Who?
You. Come here. Gonna make Josh Palmer join me down here. Talk about the game.
The white SUV?
Good.
Hey, everybody look. It's Josh Palmer. Mr. Guy's name on the side of the book right there. So Josh, tell everybody about your experiences at the Imaginarium this weekend. How'd it go?
It was a good time. It was a lot different than I thought. I'd forgotten it was mostly a writer's event, so it made it very, very interesting. But it was a lot more fun than I thought. That mega game of Are You a Werewolf was awesome. Took pride in his 16 players, and we didn't lose a single werewolf. I was one of the werewolves, so it was a good achievement for the weekend.
I was never a werewolf, so it did not go well for me. But it was a fun game. I never played that before. We got in some list off. Pretty good game of list off.
Yeah, that second round of that one took like an hour.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. We had Josh and another guy, Robert, go head to head on list off, and man, those are some smart fellows who know a lot of stuff.
But he actually knew some sports. And a lot of times when we play, like the nerds or geeks or the gamers, a lot of them don't know sports, and it's not a big part of the game, but it's some part of the game. But he actually knew some of it, and it kind of balanced it out. It was a good one. We went pretty deep on types of fish. That was one that we went deep on.
Oh yeah, and I was already out when it got changed to types of fish, and I was blown away because I had like 4. Hey, Questwise, thanks Jody. He says congratulations guys. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. We are definitely very thrilled and excited about the way it turned out. I can't wait to see what the reception is to our vampire source book that you and I are working on together. So, for those who don't know, Questwise has came on board. He's part of one of the Bloat Games crew now, and he's helping me out with the vampire source book, which was one of our stretch goals, which was unlocked thanks to the awesome support of our Kickstarter backers. So we just went over 7,500. At the beginning of this Kickstarter thing, what did you honestly think we were going to do?
Oh, maybe 1,500 or so. I'm not really familiar with Kickstarter. I've heard a lot about it, but I didn't know the ins and outs. That's why you were doing it, and you kept saying, let's wait and do it right, and we'll get some good reviews. And I was very, very surprised. But all the positive reviews, I think, really was what pumped it up. And
yeah,
everybody's seen it has been so nice and excited about it.
Yeah, people really seem to have it's not just the nostalgia thing. People really seem to like the game. Typically, I hate everything that I write, but I am super proud of this game. Definitely of all the stuff Bloat Games released so far, this is my favorite to personally play. Although I don't know, I really like List Off a lot too.
It's a different thing.
It's totally different. That's apples to oranges there.
Well, it's more to it. Like the zombie game is cool, but it's just the beginning. Whereas this one's a whole world, and it's so different. But the source book I'm working on right now is going to be awesome. I hope new classes and new places.
Yeah, and we brought on Jonathan Meadows. He's a local guy here, actually from Louisville, Kentucky. He's a big person. If you're familiar with Nerd Louisville, I think he's the president currently of Nerd Louisville.
I think so.
But yeah, he's came on board. He's going to help Josh out, and the reason that we're able to do this is because of the generous support of our backers, obviously, and the reason why we want to bring people on is just because the more collaboration, I think, makes for a better product, and also we want to get this stuff out to you guys as soon as possible. So we're not going to rush it. We're going to make a great product, but if we can cut the writing time in half, then that's definitely something that can move the project right along. So yeah, I really thought when this went live, I was scared that we wouldn't make 600. That was my goal. I was like, I got to at least make 600 or 1,000. I think, like, had I thought that we would have really made 7,500 at the beginning, I couldn't have even conceived that. So we are. Oh, here comes the laptop. Thank you, Mr. Bragdon. We are getting going here. Let's see, just 1 second. I'm gonna pull this up here so I can see the chat. Alright, let's see. Alright, there we go.
That's the same one?
That's... Oh no, that's not the same one. I was like, wait a second, this ain't right.
Different shirt on it and you're off.
Here we go. And I got it now. Alright, so as we got that finally brought up, see, we got at least one viewer out there. How's it going? Oh, that might be us. Two. Woohoo! So again, yeah, we're super excited about how it's going. Just blown away that the game's getting the response that it's getting. We can't wait to get it into your hands. Again, for those who are online, also let me let you know, there's another Kickstarter that just launched today called Asteroids and Aliens. If you like what I do, I am part of that Kickstarter as well. I'm one of the stretch goals, so I'll be writing an adventure for the guys. Those are the Brian Fitzpatrick and the guys over there at Mobius Adventures, people who made Mazes and Perils. So if you like that retro clone, they're doing a sci-fi game. It's not a retro clone, but it's a very cool system. And they came to me and they had some very cool ideas, and so I was proud to come on board. So if you can check them out too, if you got a few extra nickels to throw their way, they're good guys, and I think you're going to get a great product out of that one as well. Pardon me. So yeah, so we're chugging along here while we're doing this. I'm going to pull up the Kickstarter page so that I'll be able to see how we're doing live. But I know the last time I checked right before I came on, we were over 7,500 with like 257 backers, which is just amazing. Completely blown away. Josh and I are going to be going to I think our next stop is the Louisville or the Derby City Comic Con. So for anybody who's in Louisville or is attending that con,
last weekend of the month.
Yeah, last weekend in October. Come find us. We'll definitely Hang on, I'm going to just try search it real quick. Alright, so let's see. So we're at $7,538 with 257 backers, 99 minutes to go. So yeah, so we're going to be at the Derby City Comic Con, and that'll last. This last weekend of October. It's just a Friday and Saturday con. It's not like a Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday, yeah. So it's not a 3-day or 4-day con. Then after that, we're going to be going to the Nerd Luvia Con, where Josh and I will both be running adventures for either Survive This or Dark Places and Demogorgons. So if you're signed up for Nerd Luvia, if you're attending that con, which is in Louisville, Kentucky, hit us up. You get a chance to play with us, hang out with us. We'll also be just hanging out there in between our games, maybe playing some pickup list off or something along those lines. Let's see. I'm sure for those of y'all who are just joining in, you probably hear a whole bunch of people talking in the background, having a little bit of a house party for the Kickstarter, just kind of celebrating the game and how it's going. Let's see. There we go. All right. So about the game, Josh, before you got here, I was telling them that once the funds have been received, which takes about 2 weeks to clear, we're going to be dropping over on DriveThru RPG, which it's a free for all of our backers, obviously, but what we call the review copy. So you'll be able to get the PDF of the game as it stands right now. And there's some typos, some errors, some things we already know that we're going to change. But we're doing that so that you can help us find stuff, point out stuff that maybe we overlooked or that you didn't think should be there, things like that. So that'll be coming. That way you guys can hopefully get in and be able to play Dark Places, like for a Halloween game or something like that. If you know anything about D&D, it's a very quick pickup. I want to say there's a lot to this game, a lot that makes this game kind of what it is, but it is very easy to move into if you're familiar with how that game works. Its strength is flavor more than it has a lot of interesting, unique flavor to the game. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Starlaw. We appreciate that. He just said congrats. Quest-wise, Jody, we're kind of score one of those cool DP&D shirts. Hey Jody, hit me up on Instant Messenger on Facebook a little bit later, because I actually have one for you. So don't worry about that. I got you covered there, partner. And this is something we may end up doing a run for just kind of for everybody. These shirts, I got them for the Bloat Games crew because we were doing a convention this weekend. So we had them in red, one blue, to kind of go along with our red and blue covers. And everybody seems to really like them. It wasn't something that I felt comfortable enough with getting in there for the Kickstarter. So, but it may definitely be something where we do like a pre-order for them or one off, or just run them through either our Facebook page orders or through eBay, something along those lines. So we'll see how that goes for the future. Let's see. Help me out here. What do you want to talk about the game?
Well, you were talking about how anybody could pick it up. It's got some. The rule system, I think, is very strong, but the flavor is the classes and the backgrounds and what you're doing. So yeah, anybody can. I mean, if you played any role-playing game, you can pick it up and look through it, and you can play. The rules are pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
picking your class might be. There's so many things to choose from.
Yeah.
And we got more classes coming in the next book I've been working on pretty hard this week. I don't know if I can say any of them, so let's see what I say. I mean, which one can I mention? Well, we have a list of quite a bit, but we haven't narrowed it down yet. Like,
Yeah.
I really want to incorporate some form of magic. Nothing ridiculous. I mean, like if maybe put a witch or something in, but like have a spell list like 10 spells and you get one each level or something. So I was working on one of those, as well as a monster hunter type person. Maybe some new skills. Just something to expand upon the game, but keep it still exciting and not make it a slog to learn to play.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Ron, definitely see you there. Yeah, so many people who've seen these shirts have been saying that. So I will keep you in mind, and we will, if this moves forward, which I have a feeling that we are going to move forward with the shirts, I'll let you know, and we'll definitely keep you informed of that. Because yeah, people really seem to like the shirts, and in fact, at the con that we were just at, a lot of people would come up to us, and we were in Louisville, Kentucky, where if you know anything about Kentucky, anything about Louisville, it's like basketball mecca, and Kentucky blue and Louisville red, and so a lot of people were making those comments because we were wearing blue and red, even though it was just really based off of our own covers here. So one of the things I want to touch on too that Josh just brought up kind of briefly was the flavor of the game. Even if you're not a child of the 80s, I think you'll quickly be acclimated to the style and the insane large scale that the 80s was. Everything was over the top. And this game does really good at emulating the genre of the kids on bike movies, the Goonies, Lost Boys, E.T., Last Starfinder, all those, the Explorers.
Starfinder.
Yeah. Well, it's.
You mean
What am I thinking of?
Flight of the Navigator.
Flight of the Navigator. There we go. Cloak and Dagger, maybe.
Well, yeah, Cloak and Dagger spy.
Yeah.
There might be spies in the next book, like teen spies.
So it does very well at emulating those things, and in playtests, man, it is a ton of fun to play. And what's really been surprising is even people who aren't children of the 80s like Josh and myself, they don't seem to have a problem because the 80s media is so or what's it called, is so heavily used or viewed now, even by younger people. Everybody knows what the Goonies is. Everybody knows what the Lost Boys are. Everybody knows what Ghostbusters is. So it's very easy for people to become acclimated with just the game world. Prolific. Thank you so much, Ron. Yes, Monster Squad would definitely be part of the thing. That was definitely an influence. Kick them in the nards. That's one of my favorite lines. I use it all the time. And then, even Scooby-Doo. Really, I know Scooby-Doo is from pre-80s, but as a child of the 80s, I grew up watching a lot of Scooby-Doo, and it was a big part of how this game came to be. And the Breakfast Club, and while the Breakfast Club doesn't have anything supernatural, we definitely took the tone and influence of the Breakfast Club, and you can see that directly in our character classes.
Everybody wondered what if the Breakfast Club had to take on some vampires or monsters, and now you can figure it out.
Yeah. And
I'm sure Judd Nelson could handle it.
Yeah, Judd Nelson could handle it. That dude was hardcore. So we're counting down. Let's check and see how we're doing right now. Just super excited about the way things are going. And it's thinking about it. My son is upstairs playing video games, so I have a feeling that he's hogging up all our bandwidth. Oh yeah, Ali Sheedy was scarier than she was cool. 7,538. Yeah, I just got it. Thanks, Ron.
Ali Sheedy was awesome back then.
Yeah, you know, it was funny because I remember everybody talking about Molly Ringwald and how pretty she was, and she's not ugly or anything, but Ali Sheedy was like one of my first crushes. She was so hot in that movie.
But they ruined her at the end of the movie. It's the only bad thing about it.
Oh yeah, when they make her pretty.
I don't mean to say anything bad about it. It's one of my favorite movies, but I don't like that.
Yeah, no,
She was hot in Short Circuit as well. So.
I would take the crazy goth dark girl any day. So even I mean, all those archetypes were so good though. Even Emilio Estevez, you know, his speech about his dad and winning and stuff was just kind of floored me, how good it was. So yeah, so that game, that is definitely one that is in there, and stuff like that. I like now to take a moment. I'm going to bring in actually one of the gentlemen who worked on the books. I'm going to have Josh move over here in the driver's seat. No, you got. I know, but you got. Chicks can't hold the smoke. That's what it is. Yes, yeah, and he was awesome too. In fact, I think that was his best performance. I think Michael Hall, NEC Hall, or whatever his name is.
I'm gonna go with Johnny Be Good, but no, I don't know. He was awesome in that Weird Science as well. But,
the Weird Science kicked butt. Yeah, you can't go wrong with early John Hughes. So,
but you can go wrong with later John Hughes. Home Alone.
I like Home
Baby's
Alone.
Day Out.
I don't know about Baby's Day Out. I like Home Alone. I like Pretty in Pink.
That's awesome.
So
he just wrote that. He didn't direct it.
Oh, he didn't direct it?
Yeah, he wrote it.
We'll give him credit for it.
I can hold the fort down for a minute.
All right. So yeah, so we're going to bring in Jason Shane. Josh is going to talk to him about his contributions and what he thinks of bloat games and all that type stuff, and I'll be right back. Go ahead, Shane.
We'll see, Jason. Here comes Jason Shane. He's one of the writers and designers here, playtesters at Bloat Games. So, Jason, what do you think about all this? What do you think about the excitement of the Kickstarter and
really good?
How well it's doing?
Great.
Who's your favorite Breakfast Club member?
And Sheedy.
Good answer. I mean, can't go wrong there. So, what's your favorite class out of the book? Well, I think I know your answer, but you gotta help the people out here and tell them.
Well, tell me the one that reminded me most of when I was younger, the punk rocker.
Yeah, Shane's quite a famous punk rocker, especially in the old days. He was punk rock before it was cool. And now, not the original Sex Pistols, Stiff Little Fingers, old days punk rock, but late 80s, 90s. Yeah, he definitely started a trend. It became really popular in the 90s in high school. So, but we're dealing with the 80s today with Dark Places. Maybe we'll make a 90s book update, but who knows? Depends if people want that or not. Something's broken here. So, what else you got to say here, Jason?
Playback interrupted. Let's try again. I mean, is it even playing right now?
Oh, it's recording. Pardon me, I have some technical difficulties. If you can't hear me, let me know.
I'm pretty sure they can't hear you. They didn't hear. They can't hear me. Let me know.
Hey, Jamie, this thing's broken, I think. It looks like it's still recording here, so.
I had issues before.
See, another camera.
Okay, you can hear it still. Okay. Sorry, Bloat's the charisma of the operation, so I don't know why he hoodwinked me into doing this, so.
You got this, Josh.
No, I'm the wisdom. He's the charisma. I believe if I did my D&D stats, my charisma is about a 5, so. Oh, can we maybe we'll refresh it?
You should still be able to still do the chat.
Yeah, somebody just said they could still hear us, so let's say we're still rolling. But
Yeah, it was me. Last Halloween.
Shane broke it right away.
Yeah, I broke the camera again.
Still working here, but on this end it's not.
Even last Halloween, someone was like, "Here, pick up, and to grab a picture," and your camera didn't work again.
Hey, Chaz. Hey, you don't have anything downloading upstairs, do you?
Not that I'm aware of.
What do you mean now you're aware of?
That means, yeah.
Back up now. But, now Shane, what's going on here?
I know what's going on here.
But Shane says his favorite class is the punk rocker. But,
Well, obviously.
Of course.
What's your favorite class?
I don't know. Well, I would probably go with one of the alternate, the optional classes, the pyro or the telekinetic.
No.
What about you?
Goth. I like the goth.
We're still there's
I closed my laptop, so it shouldn't be anymore. It just started like it kept freezing. We're like, what?
the goth character is a little bit different. We took a few of the archetypes from the 80s and tweaked them to play for more game mechanic. Like the goth character can actually, as they level, see into the other side and talk and communicate with ghosts. As the metalhead class can actually eventually learn how to summon demons and talk to the devils. So you can do it like it's quite different. But you're still playing. So metalhead's a metalhead and the goth is a goth. And we'll probably have more mystical classes as we go along and deal with the other side. And and the core book has a little bit about it, but it's more of a mystery. We'll reveal more as it comes along, and as game masters, you can expound upon it, do what you want with it. There's so much still to write, but we don't want to cram it all in one book. We want to,
Yeah, I know the book will be 500 pages.
yeah, and level some people. So let's get Blood back in here with the.
There you go.
Who?
You want to see that?
No.
I got it.
I talked for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, all right, I'm back. Let's see.
See, look at the video feed.
Well, that feed
It's
always
delayed.
Yeah, it's delayed. All right, guys. Sorry about that. So, let's see. We're still chugging along here. I know I mentioned this earlier, but I really do want to say that, like, we are just here at Bloat Games. We're just blown away by the response. Down to 81 minutes, so we got 81 minutes to go. But I'm just blown away by the total response of everybody and how well this Kickstarter's done. I hope that everybody likes it. Like I said, we're really proud of it. When we started this process, originally there was only going to be 5 classes. We were just going to do the 5 archetypes from the Breakfast Club, and that expanded to 15, and then that expanded to 18, and now thanks to hitting the $7,500 goal, there's going to be a total of 28 classes that's playable that you can sit down and play with, right out the bat. So, so that's going to be awesome.
Wait, in the book?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 18 in the book, and then there's going to be the additional 10 PDF. Yeah, more is always better. You're right. 'Cause the more options. You don't want to limit anybody on what they want to be, especially people who are from the 80s. They may say, well, I remember this type of person, it's not represented in your game. Hopefully we will get that included. One of the things we want to do is we'll be sending out some information and kind of trying to get some feedback to see before we write the next 10 classes that were funded. We want to make sure that get your feedback and see if there's anything you want to see in the included into the game, any particular type of character you want to see I think tonight, after everything's all said and done, once everything settles down, I'm going to try to just pop in the Goonies just for, or maybe even Stranger Things, season 1, episode 1, just to kind of celebrate the game, though. Definitely emulates those pretty well. One of the options that we're going to have, like I said, Josh and Jonathan and Jason here are going to be working on the J-Town setting book, and so we're going to put in that book some optional rules that people can play, that people can choose to use or not. Things such as like magic items, but when I say magic items, they're not your typical magic items. It's more of like an amulet of protection, something like that. But there's no like sword +1, nothing like that. It's more something that may have been created by an ancient thing, or they find a book that has like a spell in it, but if you read it, it might summon the evil dead. Things along that line. So we're going to have those coming out. Like I said, those will be in the J-Town setting guide. Then the Vampire source book's going to have, it's got a ton of cool stuff written by myself and by Jody Brandt, Questwise. So if you get, you'll get to see more about that as it comes up. But we did some stuff kind of based off like the Lost Boys, Dracula. What's the movie? Fright Night. I wanted to say Frighteners, but I was like, wait, that's not right. Fright Night, Salem's Lot, those type things. So we got several vampire options, and then we're going to have a generator in there to generate your own unique vampire. So what we did is, instead of just having Adventure Seas where each vampire was exactly the same, in the Adventure Seas, each vampire or each set of vampires for the thing is they have their own rules. So it's pretty neat. A lot of them have their own tables, things like that. So to give you wide variety. So you may run 3, in the course of a campaign, you may run 3 different vampire games based off the stuff that's going to be in the vampire source book, and your characters will never face the same type of vampire each time. So that's pretty neat. Our goal for that is what I think is a pretty neat concept.
Curious.
So,
You said Dracula. Is it going to be like his style vampire, just weekend during the day, but still going out and everything?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so definitely, like the just the classic nobleman vampire. So, and then we also have just, like I said, we'll have a generator to generate your own unique vampire, and also we're gonna have some stuff about vampiric type abilities like hypnotic suggestion and flight, turn to mist, turn to wolf, shape change, turn to a bat. Those different things will be explained and how it works, and
Different weaknesses.
different weaknesses. Yeah, because not all of them have the same weaknesses. I always think of the line from the Lost Boys: "Garlics don't work, boys." so they'll be different along those lines. Let's see. Hey Travis, you want to come over here? Here, Shane, hop up. Let's let Travis sit down. All right, everybody. This is Travis Jones right here. Now, Travis hasn't had a chance to play Dark Places and Demogorgons yet, but he has played Survive This Zombies. What'd you think of it?
We didn't really get much in, we haven't really played it much, but mostly we've just set up, what we're going to do in the game.
What type of character did you make?
What class?
Yeah, what class?
I used the Hunter.
The Hunter. Do you remember your character's name? No. That's
I
okay.
haven't played in a while.
Yeah. Did you like the book?
Yeah, I thought it was cool how you put all the stuff together.
Did you like the art in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some scary art, though. I gotta be gotta be truthful. All right, this is my friend Travis. He hangs out with me just about once a week. His dad and I are in a band together. So, have you seen E.T. the movie?
Any what?
E.T. the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like E.T.?
Yeah, we rented it from Redbox.
Oh, you rented it from Redbox?
Yeah.
That's cool. Let's see. You like to read a lot. What are you reading right now?
I just got done reading the Land of Stories book series, and I'm still reading The Hobbit.
The Hobbit?
Oh, The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you're now on to the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Where are you at in the Lord of the Rings?
I'm where I think his name is Frodo is first leaving the village.
Oh, really? So, yeah. So you already saw the birthday party?
Yeah. I think it just seemed a bit crazy how everybody was like stealing all the gifts and stuff.
Yeah, those hobbits were greedy. The hobbits of the hobbits of the Lower Shire. All right, well, thank you, Travis, for coming. Could you do me a favor? You see the guy who's standing there with his back turned to us?
In the blue shirt?
Blue shirt. Could you go get him and ask him to come down?
Yeah.
So that's my friend Travis. His dad is Jeff Jones, who does our graphic design, and he worked on, so Jeff had some of my books over there, and Travis found the Survive the Zombies and read it, and figured, made a character and came and showed me. I thought that was pretty neat. This big hunk of sexy that's joining me right now.
What's up?
This is Mr. Jason Bragdon. Now, Jason, he has the dubious honor of he was put into the book and didn't know about
That's right. I should get a cut or something.
Not happening.
No?
No.
A signed copy?
No. So you obviously, by all the gray in your beard and in your hair and the receding hairline, you're obviously a child of the 80s, right?
Yes.
Okay. What's some of your favorite 80s memories?
Parachute pants. I loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we have phones and wallets and keys and all the stuff we need to carry. We need that many pockets now. We don't have that many pockets.
Yeah, cargo pants just don't cut it.
No. So I need kangaroos to come back so I can have that pocket in my shoe and some parachute pants.
Nice.
I can carry all my stuff around.
So why don't you tell them one of the characters that we have in the book is a break dancer. Why don't you tell them about your hip-hop dancing of the 90s?
I did have some hammer pants. Luckily, to my knowledge, there are no surviving pictures that I know of.
Oh boy, those would be in the book.
Those would they would have been the cover maybe, I don't know. But now that I'm old, the hammer pants probably be tight. They'd be filled out.
Oh my gosh. That is a mental image. Woo! All right, so being a child of the 80s, in all seriousness, like, what's your favorite 80s movie?
Oh gosh. I got.
Not just came out in the 80s. 80s movies that is 80s.
Breakfast Club, Lost Boys. Those movies that I just have to watch no matter. If you're flipping through and those are on, you just got to stop and just watch till the end.
You fan of License to Drive?
Oh my gosh, we just got passed by a street sweeper. I love that movie.
All right, what about Adventures in Babysitting?
Yeah, to an extent.
Oh, that movie's awesome.
I certainly didn't like the remake that my daughter made me watch.
There's a remake?
Yeah, it was Raven. Oh no, with
Sabrina.
They made one with Jonah Hill too.
Oh, really?
The Sitter.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Just stick with the original.
All right.
Well, they're like half-assed.
Karate Kid.
And so did you go to any concerts in the 80s?
I actually went to, in the same year, Motley Crue and Whitesnake. That was one concert. And just a few months later, MC Hammer. Same calendar. No, probably a year apart.
In the 80s.
So, yeah, well, the
almost 2 years
Out
apart.
era.
Yeah, this was the beginning.
1988 was the first, like, the big Hammer album.
Also saw Poison, and at the fair, it was the free concert one year.
That was way after their heyday.
Yeah. Yeah, that was when they were at the original Cardinal Stadium.
Stay away from the remake. Yeah, sorry. Well, I'm definitely going to stay away from the remake. So, all right. So you went to see Whitesnake and Motley Crue, and then you went to see MC Hammer. Looking back now, which one of those concerts you think stands up better?
Oh, Motley Crue was amazing. It was when Tommy Lee was doing the full rotating drums.
Oh, so it was the Girls
Yeah.
tour?
It was the Wild Side tour, kicking ass. Can I say that on live stream?
You just
the
did.
Wild Side. Because I got sent home from school. The next day I wore that shirt to school, and they sent me home for wearing my Motley Crue shirt. I was that kind of a.
I got kicked out of Jefferson Mall for wearing a Motley Crue shirt that I bought in Jefferson Mall.
Wow. And the things you see in that mall now.
I know, right? So, all right, man. Well, thank you for coming down and chatting with us. Thank you for not suing me for being in my book.
I want my copy that I bought from the Kickstarter to be signed by you and Josh.
That's good.
Sure.
That'll be one of the survey questions. Oh, we're not shipping it to you either.
I gotta pick it up.
You lost that money.
Bringing it. You gotta drive over and pick it up.
Yeah, Chaz, come here.
Get in there, Chaz.
All right, so we're just making our way through, guys. I hope you guys. I see several of you are watching, and I hope you can just tell that we are just having a good old time here. I'm now being joined by the coolest of the cool. This is my son, Chaz.
Howdy.
So, Chaz, what do you think of my games?
I think they're fun. I had a lot of fun playing them. I haven't played the newest one yet, but I've played all your other ones, and they're really fun.
All right. So are you big into role-playing games?
Not exactly these type, more video games, but I had fun playing these. But List Off was definitely my favorite game I've played from you all so far.
Oh, List Off. Yeah, the one that I didn't make.
That's going to be our biggest hit.
See how it is?
Everybody know that's coming to Mike.
So Chaz is now a senior in high school with, I believe you want to go to school in Orlando College?
Yeah, I want to go to Florida.
All right. So we're going to see how that works out.
Being an NXT wrestler.
What did you think of the pictures of me and Uncle Josh in here?
You didn't show me you all had pictures
cool
of you
back
two in
then.
there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Uncle Josh says you look cool back then.
Not anymore. Okay, back for a second now.
This is Uncle Josh wearing a Slayer shirt.
Everybody excited, right?
Look, there's your mama,
Slayer, right?
Oh my God.
Ainsworth, bro.
Your dad knows it. He'll tell you about it.
So for those who haven't got a chance to see it yet, there I am rocking the Motley Crue Master of Puppets shirt. I mean, not Motley Crue, the Metallica Master of Puppets shirt, and Josh rocking the Slayer shirt. Look at that hood. And there's that guy Jason who was just here. we needed an extra picture, thus he got thrown in.
By Ainsworth.
Yeah, Ainsworth doesn't know either. He doesn't get a say. All right, so let's do a check-in now and see what's up.
Still a piece of art available, right?
Yeah, there is. There's still anybody who wants the cover. The cover is still available as a option. We've gone up. We're at 260 backers, $7,603. So we are still moving up with 66 minutes to go. Awesome. But yeah, the covers for the book, the painting that was made by Tommy Stamper is available. We're selling that as part of a way to repay Tommy for his kindness, because he just did the painting. He wouldn't take or didn't even want, there wasn't an issue of money. He wanted to take care of us, and everybody loves this cover. I like this cover. Everybody loves this cover, right, Josh?
The blue one's better.
Josh says the blue one's
The
better.
red one's cool, but what is it? It's just a monster.
Well, everybody for those who are on here, y'all should vote in the comments. Which one do you like better? Do you like blue
There you go.
or red? Help me prove Josh that he's wrong.
There's no mana cord in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
we can put one in.
Oh, we already got one vote for red. Starlaw says red.
Favorite color. Your favorite color.
All right. Let's see. Tell you what, Chaz. Why don't you
Get them ratings up.
yeah, get your sister. Tell your sister, come here.
We were talking about the idea about
She's right there. You just
bringing the
call her.
gamers to.
Starlaw does say both are cool though, which I agree. Both are cool. I like the red the most.
We all over school tomorrow.
All right. Now moving in here, we got Kristen Bloat. Her name's mentioned in the book. She's one of the people who the book's dedicated to. So, Chris, what do you think of your dad's games?
I think they're really cool.
Which one of my games do you like the most?
What do you mean?
List off, Survive the Zombies, Dark Places Demogorgons.
Probably the stuff.
Probably List Off.
It's not fair because it's a different type of.
That is,
Yeah.
gosh, I'm just getting smacked in the face.
It's not so different.
Kristen is one of our team members here at Bloat Games. She comes and works the conventions with us. She also manages part of our social media. Pretty much anything on Instagram that comes from Bloat Games. That's this one right here. She takes care of us. So if you're ever out and meet us at a convention, come up, and if Kristen's working booth, make sure to say hi, because half the time she's bored, but half the time she has fun. You had fun this weekend, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a good time. We were at the Imaginarium, so we had a cool time. All right, so what do you think of the 1980s?
I don't know.
You don't know? Do you have a favorite movie from the 80s?
Not really.
Well, I know what your favorite movie from the 80s is.
What is
The
it?
Princess Bride.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, she loves Princess Bride. So, as rightfully she should. All right, so tell you what, go up, and if you could get me Jeff. If you could ask Jeff to come down. All right, so next I'm going to try to get one of our designers, Jeff, to come down.
Don't get the books, friends.
All right, so Jeff is the guy who originally was like the first person who well, actually, I take that back. The first people I told about wanting to do this was Josh, Collins, Tommy, and Jason, two of which you've talked to tonight.
Two of us are too cool.
But the first one who outside of that group that I told was Jeff, and he right away was like, well, I can make the logo for you, and he's really helped us out. He does graphic design for a living, and so I try to handle what I can of our graphic design, but there's a lot of times I either get stuck or need help, and he is the one who comes down. What? Tell him he does. Jeff, if you ever want to see a paycheck again.
I can go
He hasn't seen a paycheck yet.
Even seen a paycheck yet.
No, not at all. So while we're waiting on him, let's check over here. Let's see. All right, still at the 7603, which is awesome. Ooh, he's fired. All right, so publicly I'm gonna have to fire Jeff Jones. You can fill in. All right, come over here. Hang on.
I'll be
Alright.
filling in for my dad, Jeff Jones.
So Jeff, tell me about when you made this logo right here, the Bloat Games logo. How'd you come up with that?
I didn't come up with it, but it looks like the Warner Brothers.
You're acting like a guy. Yeah, it does look like the Warner Brothers. You know who suggested that? That was me. Bye, guys.
Bye, congrats.
Bye. Thank you.
Hey, your other B fell off the sign.
I know, right? Thanks. All right, thank you. Thank you, Jeff. So, I don't know about where y'all are at, but here in Louisville, Kentucky, tonight is a rainy, nasty night outside. It is coming down like cats and dogs. Oh, we got you now. I just had Travis come over and impersonate you.
Oh, that's all right.
All right, everybody. Here is Jeff Jones. So Jeff does a lot of our graphic design work. What have you thought about the stuff that I've been showing you? Because you're not traditionally a gamer.
No, I'm not really a gamer. I think that you've done a great job with the writing in the books, and it's been a lot of fun working on all the graphics. So I think it's really cool.
Is there of the books? Is there a favorite thing that you've designed for the game?
Nope.
No.
No. I think it's all been really cool. It's been your vision. So I'm just trying to give it the look that something that you like.
So what Jeff doesn't know is that his friend Lance from Las Vegas, I believe,
Yep.
has contacted me, and apparently we are going to get Jeff to role play and play some role playing games.
Nah, it's not gonna happen.
We're gonna make it happen. We'll take away his ability to watch Cowboys games, and he'll quickly role play.
That may do it.
that or cut him off from alcohol.
That won't work.
What happened to I didn't even see it this weekend.
Oh no, the Packers game.
Oh,
you can't leave Aaron Rodgers a minute and a half.
You can't leave him. Oh, he came back and killed him last second. Wow. All right. Well, thank you. Well, yeah. I see we got another comment. Hang on. It disappeared for a second. Great artwork. Oh, well, thanks.
Thanks. I try.
Yep. Definitely. So
it's been fun.
I tell you, having Jeff working for me is great. Like I say, he's a professional graphic artist. But man, the amount of money that I have to pay this man to do this stuff, it's ridiculous.
I could hold it in one hand.
There's where the whole budget went right there. All right, sir. Well, thank you for coming down here.
Thanks. I'm glad to be part of it.
All right, let's see where we're at.
7,600.
Good job.
That's a lot.
You haven't mentioned any of the real time or make mine blonde or how you might
We're up to 76.43, pair.
That's good.
You want to join back in?
I'll just sit back down.
No, you can get back up.
You can't get out of it.
Adam, you want to sit down?
Sure. Hello.
Hi. So this is Adam here. This is Adam Jones. Now, Adam, what do you think about my games?
They're really fun.
They're really fun. You like them?
Yeah.
Did you play Survive This with your brother?
Yep.
You did? That's cool. So now, what grade are you in?
Third.
You're in third?
Yep.
Awesome. And so you got some role-playing game dice, right?
Yeah.
Which one of those is your favorite? Do you have a favorite? Do you like the pyramid one?
I like the 20-sided.
The 20-sided? Okay. Yeah, the 20-sided, that's my favorite. That's the one you use to do all the attacks in my games.
Yeah.
And so, let's see. What other type games do you like to play? Do you play board games?
Yeah.
You play video games?
Yes.
Yes.
I like playing games like where you have to kind of I kind of like role play games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You do? Do you like Zelda? Of course. Of course. That's my favorite. Well, thank you for joining me.
Thanks.
So, all right, so we're still trucking along here. Let's see. Yep, down to 55 minutes. Still at 261 backers. So, a lot of people, it's weird, our Kickstarter hasn't even ended yet, but all weekend long, one of the questions I kept getting was, what's next for Bloat Games? And I'm like, we're not done with this yet, but we do got several things in the process. We got there's a lot of freelancers who I'm working with, a lot of game designers. We got, I think it was 7 games currently in development, in various stages of development. Some of them, when I say in development, they're just ideas. Some of them, have been play tests. Some of them we've done stuff with. So we got some card games coming out. to add to our soul card game of List Off. So we got a lot of that stuff coming up. Our focus though for Bloat Games is really from now to the end of the year is to get this Kickstarter is completely wrapped up, get the final products in everybody's hands, and make sure that everybody is happy with what they have. So for those of you who weren't on earlier, just let everybody know one of the things that I told everybody is when the Kickstarter ends, it takes I've been told it takes about 2 weeks for the funds to clear. Once the funds clear, then I'm going to release the PDF version of what I refer to as the review copy on the DriveThru RPG, which obviously is going to be free for our backers, and that way hopefully you guys can get it in your hands, maybe even get some Halloween games in, and then help us out with erratas and error and things like that, because we know in this we rush to get the it's been well play tested, but the actual physical book we rush, so there's some missing words, some things like that. So before we go to print, I'm going to send it out for everybody to look at, to get as many pairs of eyes as we can on it, and that way we can fix all the typos. And then when the print copy comes out, it can be definitely 110% ready to go and ready for everybody to dig into. So we have that to look forward to. I know that there's been a talk of List Off being like relaunched, and that's something that I definitely want to do soon and be able to focus on. And we're down to 52 minutes. So it's under an hour, guys. So this is literally your last chance. If you're watching this and you haven't backed yet and you want to back, I highly recommend it. I mean, the stretch goals that have been unlocked are going to, if you get in on the Kickstarter, it's going to save you, $30, $40, $50 ish at least, just in the PDF versions of stretch goals. So you're getting those for free as they've been unlocked with the Kickstarter. So that is definitely worth getting in on. Also, there's add-ons. If anybody wants any add-ons, this is the last time. If you go under the updates, you'll see the information about how much the add-ons are and how to do those. Then in a few days after the Kickstarter ends, there's going to be a survey coming out for me, and it's going to be asking which add-ons you wanted and things like that. Also, there was an error in one of the a typo in one of the rewards, the $55 reward. It says $55 said you get a red. The title said you get a red hardcover and a blue softcover. But then when you go inside, it says you get both a red hardcover and a red softcover. So one of the questions on there is going to be to verify which you were intending to get, and that way we can make sure to get everybody gets the products that they want. This has been our first Kickstarter, and it's been kind of a very eye-opening experience. We've had a really good time doing it. It's been a lot of work. I ain't gonna kid you. It's been a lot of work, but we're happy with the way that is. I mean, not just happy, but we're thrilled and blown away by the way that it's went. So, what's that, Josh?
Counts as a section.
Goodness gracious, yeah, it does. What we need is one of those, get one of those boards that stretches across it. So I see several people are watching. Hi guys, thank you all for watching. Anybody has any comments, questions, concerns? I mean, we can sit here and Josh and I can ramble on about the game. Let's see, one early bird available upgraded to the red cover.
Early bird.
Oh, what's So, well, actually that's something that I can talk about a little bit.
Dark Places Demogorgons Pops.
No,
there you
is one of the things that's on our radar is Vigilante City, which is going to be Survive This, Vigilante City. It's going to be another one in our Survive This line. If you're familiar with our Vigilante hack, it's going to be along the lines of that, but the Vigilante hack is based off the Black hack and takes a very minimalist approach to a Vigilante game. And so the Survive This Vigilante City is going to be based off the same a white box, but it's going to be based off the same system that the other Survive This games uses. And so there's going to be much more involved, and that's definitely going to be something that we're using. A lot of that has been written, but we got a lot more play testing to do. 1974.
And when did it get big? Like, when was its heyday?
Early 80s.
Early 80s.
Early 80s?
Uh-huh. Sorry, you just got to ask when Dungeons and Dragons came out. I know that one.
Chainmail 72.
So, Josh, so I can get a drink here, why don't you tell them a little bit about the Satanic Panic and how we covered that in the game and stuff like that.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me from over here. We have, for the game, Bloke created like a preacher character who's coming down on the kids for play. That was kind of a meta thing where there's a game within a game that the kids play. You can play a role-playing game, which is Dark Places Demogorgons, or just it could be D&D, it could be whatever, Star Frontiers if you want it, doesn't matter. But the Satanic Panic in the 80s was a overblown media hype about people thinking that Dungeons and Dragons and various other games were evil, were a bad influence on children. And like one or two things happened where somebody disappeared in a steam tunnel or killed themselves, and they blamed all of it on like a game instead of like looking at other factors or thinking about yourself, like what other people think. But mothers and groups and a lot of religious organizations came down, not all of them at all, but like a few, like the big ones on TV.
That's why I only got to play Shadowrun. Yeah,
I know several people. Like I ran a game store for many years and worked in there, and Eric worked there and ran it for a while as well. And I know many people who are big gamers who never played Dungeons and Dragons because their parents heard something from somebody and made a judgment without looking into it. And like they play Shadowrun or Champions or Rifts. It's funny, we had a really good friend who played Rifts. His mom wouldn't let him play D&D because it was too rugged. And I was like, wait a minute, Rifts is just as rugged as any D&D game could be. And he's like, well, she's never heard of that one, so he got away with it. Yeah, so Mazes and Monsters, yeah, that one.
I got a pretty kick-ass shirt for Mazes and Monsters.
Oh yeah, that's an awesome.
You got a copy?
Yeah, I got one too.
Yeah.
It's Tom Hanks and the kid from My Bodyguard. I forgot his name. I apologize if you're watching out there. But that Satanic Panic, a lot of people couldn't play because they misunderstood what the game was by the actions of a few people, and then actually most of it got blown up. Like there was satanic rituals, and people like most of that, all that's been proven to be bull anyway over time. But people ate it up, and there's a character in the book who doesn't want anybody to have fun. You know, like the '80s trope is huge in the movies of there's always some
Footloose guy.
jerk, John Lithgow, Footloose, or like that doesn't want anybody in town to have fun, and they'll clamp down on whatever it is. And the fun thing for them is playing games. So I want to put more about it in the game, and also balance it out because it's not every group was like that. I mean, there's plenty of religious groups that didn't care, or actually people use the game because in playing D&D, you get better math skills and you learn about mythology, and a lot of history is incorporated in the game. So, I mean, not everybody came down on it, but
we definitely, though, when we started working on the game, we definitely wanted to sorry, one of my puppies just came out for the first time, and he's like, oh, there's a house full of people here.
Puppies weighs 40 pounds.
Come say hi.
Yeah, but he's still a puppy. But we definitely wanted to play on that because, in this game, there were, in Dark Places and Demogorgon, and game-wise, there is real monsters. And so it was something that we could play on to play up that their game, which is completely harmless, is getting blamed for the real monsters that are happening in the world. Yeah, Starlaw. I see where he said my parents used to say at least he's not doing drugs. I heard that same thing several times. So.
But drugs was a skill in old Palladium turtles.
Yeah.
But I think it was in Streetwise, like learning about drugs.
Sorry, we got a Australian Shepherd, and he's a puppy, but you wouldn't think he was looking at him. But so he gets all excited. He hasn't learned all of his manners yet. All right, guys, let's see. We are up to $7,650 with 261 backers. 44 minutes to go, so we're still chugging right along here. This is awesome. So
we still have Tommy's art available if anybody wants to.
Yeah.
The cool cover to the blue book.
If you want a piece of history, that one's still in there for. That's available.
And Tommy makes about one piece of every 6 months, so
yeah,
it's even more special.
It is. He's definitely not very prolific. He definitely does quality over quantity. So we got puppies going crazy. Puppies. I apologize for the audio. Depending on where you're watching this at, things could just get really loud.
Then we definitely maybe make a Mazes and Monsters type module or something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's so many things about that's easy to riff off of and have fun with, and everything that we've done in this game is really done kind of from a I guess a sense of humor.
Yeah.
This book's funny. If you read the book, I mean, it doesn't set out to be comical, but you'll get a lot of, if you're familiar with the 80s pop culture at all, you're going to get a lot of references. You get references that are hidden in there. You're going to find a lot of subtext that should be funny.
I just didn't want a book of rules only, because role-playing games are fun and rules systems are important, but if you don't have something interesting wrapped around it, it's not gonna. Like, there's plenty of systems that are cool, but just have nothing else going for them, or vice versa.
Can play camp well with it. Like, can you play like the camp scenario, like
or campiness? Do you mean like?
Yeah, do you mean campy like as in Adam West campy, or do you mean like camp as in like Jason Voorhees?
Yeah, this game you can play goofball 80s, or you can play hardcore horror as well. It's the thing with role-playing games, whatever your DM or GM can put into it, you can do. Like, the rules are made for, you can be Scooby-Doo running around and goofing off, or you can play like a near dark scenario, or even Lost Boys is a little goofy, but yeah, you can play a hardcore series, because the way the monsters are written, they're stronger than the kids generally, but the goal is not always to go kill. Like, if you see a Bigfoot and the adventure is about finding a Bigfoot, you might not want to go try to fight Bigfoot straight up, especially if you're a bunch of 13-year-old kids on a bike. You might want to do something else, like, hey, let's get a picture of him to prove we're right, or let's trap him or something like that. And you can choose to fight him if you build your characters that way, but you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of the game. But it's made to go both ways or in between. Like, it's kind of in between is where it's set, like that. Yeah. Like Lost Boys, 1 minute they're goofing off, 1 minute it's serious. Monster Squad, stuff like that. It could go.
Yeah, it's definitely and there's some information in there in the Game Master section that leads. Oh yeah, old school gaming definitely does rock. But there's some information in the Game Master section that kind of helps you with setting the tone of the game, because Josh is right. It's designed to where it really depends on how you run it, because you could play this game just straight up as Scooby-Doo and have it real slapsticky and just make it a beer and pretzels type game, or I have people who have looked it over who are big Call of Cthulhu fans, and they said they would love to play like Cthulhu scenarios within this system, and either way works fine. And doesn't break the game, and doesn't, you know, it definitely is designed to be able to handle a wide variety. So it's not a rigid game, I guess you could say. As far as the camp, yes, you can totally do a campground scenario or a camping summer camp type scenario and pull off a Friday the 13th. That is very easy to do with this system for sure.
We had a lot of people ask about Call of Cthulhu stuff because it does have a dark tone if you want, like some of the stuff does, but you might have to incorporate more of the like insanities and stuff like that. You never know. Techno.
Is he smelling you, Adam?
Meatballs? Yeah,
You could, yeah.
Put a monster in a Meatballs movie.
Well,
sure.
and not just that, but I mean,
well, Meatballs 2 had an alien in it, so
part of this, what this game is, you know, there's aspects of the supernatural in the characters, but for the most part, the characters are just completely normal kids. I mean, you could play this as a straight up Loki. You could play this as a straight up, you know, game of kids going to high school and having to deal with bullies in high school, and have nothing supernatural happen at all. So there's always that option to play the straight up game, or to play the campy game, or supernatural versus non-supernatural. So although I do recommend supernatural, I think especially some of the adventure seeds that are in there, we got things like we even included like some cryptids, like Josh mentioned Bigfoot. We have the chupacabras.
yeah, that's the
Poplick monster, which is here from Louisville, Kentucky. So
the game's based in a somewhat fictionalized version of Jerseytown, Kentucky, which is a suburb of Louisville. And Poplick monsters are big, like cryptid. It's a goat man who lives on a train trestle and lures people out to get run over by a train. Pretty popular around here. But I incorporated other cryptids from other parts, like Loveland Frog monster from Cincinnati, Mothman from West Virginia, you know, Bigfoot from all over, Chupacabras from Puerto Rico. So there's all kinds of. You can put them all here. Why are they here? Well, that's a mystery. You gotta figure that out.
You know, not yet, but the Krampus started last. Do you got Krampus yet? Not yet, but the Krampus is definitely one that I would like to do as maybe a special holiday.
It's taking off now.
Adventure. Yeah, I know. A few years ago, I thought like I was like one of the few people who knew what the Krampus was. Like nobody, but now the Krampus is kind of
They're
everywhere.
having a Krampus parade downtown like December, right?
December 4th?
Yeah,
December 4th. Yeah, so December 4th in Louisville, Kentucky, we're having a Krampus parade. That's pretty awesome. So, and then, you know, looking forward to, I guess we can talk about this, looking forward to next year, really want to get out to some conventions to meet people, and a lot of the stuff that we've done so far has been around Louisville, Kentucky. We really want to get to places, you know, come to where you are, run games for people, you know, just hang out with people. One reason why I wanted to start doing games and why we started Bloat Games was because when I found the online community, I kind of was blown away by how friendly everybody was, and the more I've done with the online community, the better, you know, it's got. People, I mean, while the community will have its tussles and its edition war arguments and stuff like that every now and then, for the most part, everybody is pretty supportive of everybody, and so that's why I wear like the OSR RPG badge with honor. You know, those are the type of games that I like to play. Those aren't the only games that Bloat Games will make. You know, we'll definitely make some other games with other systems, but it'll definitely always be very heavily influenced by the OSR games and style of play.
1200.
1200 AD.
No, CE.
CE.
Thanks for
Later,
coming.
Joneses.
Good luck for the rest of it.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Where'd everybody go? Everybody's weaseling.
All right, so let's see where we're at now. Down to 34 minutes, still at 7,650. All right, guys, that is still amazing. All right, see you later, Starlaw. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you much.
So we got a little bit left to go.
Chaz, start going door to door. Just time to look it up, knocking on the.
Also,
You never know.
I see we got a few people on here, and if anybody watches later on, we also, we accept through Bloat Games, we accept not leaving to the end. Oh, awesome. We accept.
Oh, he said bye to
Oh,
them.
he was saying bye to them. I got you, Sarwell. Sorry about that. But we accept pitches. So if you have a game idea, we'll definitely look it over. Reach out to either myself or Josh. I'm the owner of Bloat Games, but Josh is definitely my head designer and production manager. So we can, either one of us can look at it and get into, what we would be able to do, if we'd be able to do anything. And maybe that we might be able to refer you with your idea to someone else. So that's always an option.
So we have a million ideas right now. Just every time I work on one, I think of two others. But we need, but we get around, we focus and make because right now I was going to do something else, but the source book for this is to take priority right now. The monster games. We're working on card games as well. I really love card games, and we actually have been playtesting a card game version of The Dark Places based on the 80s, but hopefully we'll, by next year, have something for that. The initial tests have been pretty good. I'm just trying to make it fun and unique. As of right now, it's pretty good. Still got stuff to go on.
All right, so we got a few people. Thank you. We got a few people watching. Let me throw this question out to y'all. What as far as games, old school Renaissance game RPGs that are out there, is there any genres that haven't been covered? Like I've done the zombie genre. We're now doing like the 80s kids on bike genre. Is there any genres that you haven't seen there's maybe been other game products but you haven't seen in an OSR game? And then if that is something, let us know about that, in case we're missing, seeing different options that are available out there. Let's see. I know that I personally always thought about doing a cartoon genre. Like Toon, but maybe not as zany. Maybe almost, I guess more like because Toon was more of like a Roger Rabbit and like Looney Tunes type game. I'm thinking more like the Black Star, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers. I guess the action cartoons. I know there's a game called Action Hour. Cartoon Action Hour, but I believe it uses its own unique system. It's not I haven't done too much research into it, but those are things that we I look into. Oh, 30 minutes. We are on the last half hour, guys. Wow. All right, so we're moving right along. So, all right, so let's see. Oops, wrong button.
Post an update.
So,
he just says upload.
all right. lots of old school, hard to think of what is missing. Cartoon would be one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying necessarily cartoon's a good idea. It's just something I always thought would be kind of fun to play in. Heck, I'd want to play in a straight up Transformers world, but you know that's me. So
Robotech.
I don't know if you guys saw or not, but if you're a fan of White Star by James M. Spawn, White Star dropped the Galaxy Edition, which it doesn't change the rules, but it adds a lot more content. It's now available on DriveThru RPG. It's only available in PDF right now, so if you're like me and you like to wait till you get a physical copy, you may hold off. But the PDF is available, and it's got a ton of cool stuff. And the reason why I mentioned that is because in White Star there's a class called the Mecha that is essentially is a Transformer.
No, okay.
And so, but it's just like one class of many.
Is anybody else still here? All the Blood Twins, we get y'all on the camera down here. No, come on.
So
you're gonna be in the card game.
A lot of the people that were here tonight appear in the book. We got a couple different things where it's we do collages of people from the 80s. See, I'm trying to find one right now so I can show y'all. Like that. That person right there with the blonde hair, the mesh shirt, and the leather pants. Yeah, that was me in the 1980s. Don't judge me. I was like 9. No, please don't
That's
judge me.
his sister. She's here. She should come down here.
Yeah. And then we got this one down here, which has me hanging out playing guitar. But if you notice, over here is the Suicidal Tendencies record. So if anybody's a Suicidal Tendencies fan, we had the How Will I Laugh album snuck its way into the Dark Places and Demogorgons game. I got my mom watching me right now in the background. It's kind of funny. All right, down to 27 minutes. Let's see. So, did you want to talk about some of the optional either rules or systems that you were thinking of adding for the J-Town setting guide?
Well, for the setting guide, I was thinking about maybe expanding the levels, because in the book we have 5 levels, and I was thinking about maybe making it 6th grade through senior year, so it'd be your 7 levels, but each one based on class by year, because as a kid everybody identifies you by what grade you're in, no matter what. It's like, what grade are you? You're a sophomore, and that's generally what you were for most groups. So think about maybe making any additional rules, like keeping it maybe 5 levels, but then if you want to play somebody start a little bit younger, you can do that, because it's either way sounds like it would work. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have got several requests for younger kids.
That you can still play younger, like what it says in the book. Like I think in my whole lifetime of playing role-playing games, when the book says roll blah 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 D6 for your starting age, I've never done that, never once. I just picked the age that I want to be.
Yeah, but part of it was because some of those ages get a car.
Well, yeah, but
yeah.
You can be less than 16 and still hotwire car.
And with this being an OSR product, one of the best things about OSR products, house rules.
Sure.
You can house rule this all day long. In fact, the few times I've ran it, I've already ran across some things where I've not necessarily house ruled, but done stuff that's different from what's in the book. Some of that, though, had to do with who was playing and stuff like that, so just to make it easier. Awesome, Chris. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to your hands. I hope you really enjoy it. We're really proud of it.
And then I See, also, one of the cool things with the book is the background chart. There's 100 things that you roll 2D, like 2D 100, and that's what your background is, if you want. But each one's different, unique, and when we've play tested, we've had a lot of fun with that because you never know what you're going to get. I was thinking about maybe expanding on that as well, because some of the things you can get are an obsession. Like, you might be obsessed with He-Man or karate movies or G.I. Joe or Lord of the Rings, various other 80s. I mean, Lord of the Rings goes back, but people in the 80s still love it. I mean, I remember reading that when I was a kid. So you might be obsessed with it and you can incorporate in your character. I was thinking about adding more of those that make it giving everybody an obsession. Like Transformers, could be Jim, My Little Pony. That was around back in the 80s for those who are into that now. It was, I remember taking my little sister to see one of those movies in the 80s. So, but that's another one we're looking on adding. More NPCs, more monsters, more scenarios. I like adding more skills. I don't want to drown it. I know, like, some people hate that Pathfinder thing where you have a ton of skills. I like that, but I think there's a good happy medium of 0 skills and too many skills, maybe in the middle.
One of the things that works out so great about Josh and I working together is that I'm of course I'm into OSR, but I'm like super into like rules light and ease of play, and even like if it was up to me, not necessarily up to me, but like, you know, I'm fine with having no skills in a game, and you know, he likes a lot, and so what we do is we balance each other out, and a lot of times it works out for the best. That's one of the things that helped to make this game so good, was just bouncing ideas off each other and then making compromises and then being like, oh well, you know, when we meet in the middle, turns out really well.
I'm definitely a rules lawyer, and like I'd say the best system ever is 3.5 or Pathfinder, whereas he hates that. Jason would bring me up.
But
Best system ever for RPG, 3.5 Pathfinder.
survive this.
Right answer, Shane. Shane said best system ever, survive this.
Now, I would love to.
He gets a raise. Josh, you're fired. He's been promoted.
I would like to write books and I mean, that'd be 10 times bigger and
Yeah.
take 10 times as long. No, I like those. It doesn't be that heavy, but this we don't want it to be too heavy. We don't want you to sit down and take 2 hours and make a character. That's not what these are about. It's like old D&D when you just pick your character. I remember real old D&D playing. You just rolled, and then you pick your character based on, say, oh, I got 14 is my best in dexterity. I guess I'm a thief. I remember that sucking, but that was when you play the game, though.
3d6 and straight down the line. Yep.
I think every group I played with was 4d6 or a cut. Well, Eric Wujik, yeah.
Yeah, that was. It's funny, we just got 2 Palladium mentions right in a row. Yeah, I really like Beyond the Supernatural. That's a great game. In fact, I don't let this out, but I've never played Call of Cthulhu. I got some friends who just love it, but I did play a lot not a lot, but enough.
Beyond the Supernatural is Call of Cthulhu. It's the same game.
But as I say, Eric, your preference is rules light. How does that work with your Palladium interests? That is a great question. I fell in love with Palladium. I think I hit Palladium at the right age. When I was a kid, I was okay with rule games being crunchy, and Palladium was something completely different. Before that, I'd really only played Dungeons and Dragons, so Palladium was something that was completely different. If I found Palladium now, I probably wouldn't like it, because I would think it's too crunchy, way too many rules, takes far too long to make a character. But because I already had that love in there, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I think it's, you know, I have a lot less time now than I did when I was 12. So there's a big difference in why I like Palladium. but now I like rules light games. Let's see.
Well, Palladium,
Go ahead, Josh.
I have to say my favorite character generation is for either Riffs or Ninja Turtles. Making Ninja Turtle characters is one of the funnest things ever. But when you play the game, it's still fun, but it was more fun to make the character in Ninja Turtles or like most of the playing games than it is to play if you can't get the balance right. Like Riffs is awesome, but it's one of the most impossible games to balance correctly.
See, I never had a problem with it though.
No, we used to argue all the time.
Well, we argued, but that's just because you were wrong. But hey, Chris, I'm with you, man. The min maxers drive me up the wall. Hang on just a second. Hey, Chaz.
It's at 20%.
Do me a favor. I need you to plug in my charger.
Did it get unplugged?
Yeah, but the min maxing drives me up the wall. And I'm with you. So that I'm not competitive when I play role playing games at all, and I hate when the min max stuff.
Computer on.
But
I don't know where to plug in.
Snap. All right, well, don't worry about it right now.
Doesn't have a USB you can plug in. It's not charged like that.
Yeah, it does. Where's the USB port?
Popping in over there.
Mine plugs in
But the
mine,
DCC, I love DCC. That is one of my favorite things. Do it over here, Chaz. It's over here. But yeah, I love DCC. I love how simple it is. I love all the charts and tables. Those guys are killing it. Sometime I would like to make up some content for DCC because they're really good about supporting their third-party publishers, and so I want definitely to. I like to play in their sandbox some. Their magic system is one of my favorites. I love that each spell has its own page and its own options and results. House rules, right? Yeah, definitely, Ivankas. I'm all about house rules. So, what's your thought on house ruling there, Pear?
Well, you have to do something.
Right.
I mean, when you get a group of people together, especially play over and over again, you learn what they do, and things will always get altered as long as you don't change the whole idea of the game. Yeah, charts are awesome. I like definitely we'll add more charts to the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna, Chris. I think you're gonna like this because we added more charts than have ever been in any of the Bloke Games books before, and then our additional content will have a lot of random charts too. Not as much as the DCC has. They take their charts and turn it up to 11 if you look at their quantity. But that's something that we like, and we like giving the people the ability to roll and get interesting outcomes. One of my favorite nostalgic memories from being a child was rolling on the charts in the back of the first edition DMG, and for treasure. I used to love that, and some people drove nuts, but just rolling these random things, and you go to a table and you're like, I've never rolled on this table before. I used to really enjoy that.
That was awesome.
Love your charts. Such a great friendly gaming company. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, sounds cool. You need DP&D belt buckle like DCC. I'm all about branding, but man, those guys, they do it right at Goodman Games. And I don't know if y'all have had a chance to meet them or not, but I haven't met Joseph or Doug, but everybody who I have met from DCC, all been super nice. In fact, Dieter Zimmerman been sharing out stuff all through this campaign for me, telling people to check out our Kickstarter and stuff. He lives here in Louisville. I've actually played in a couple of his games. So yeah, all those guys are super great, super talented. They make great products. That DCC core book it is a sight to behold, especially, you know, just the weight of the book. You pick that thing up, you know you're in for something. So yeah, but yeah, definitely would like to get into doing something along the lines of what they do as far as how they treat their customers and stuff like that. They treat their customers like oh, well, thank you so much, Chris. They treat their customers like their friends and family, and that's what I believe too, because I mean, really, you guys kind of are just, you know, my friends. We're not somebody asked me over the weekend at the convention, how many fans do we have, and I said, I don't know if we have any fans. We got people who we like to game with and who like our game stuff. So
building a few.
Yeah, building a few, but you know,
we've just been hoodwinked them by. How greedy!
Look at you, Kristen, making Uncle Josh go without ice cream.
You can make ice cream.
So let's see where we're at. All right, yeah, still at 7650 with 261 backers. All right, hang on and jump back over here. Did you work music into the system somehow? Curious because of the iconic pop and metal stuff. There you go.
Oh yeah. Well, and each character class has a music quote. I like to work music a lot more into it, but yeah, I don't really know how you can do a system. One of the groups of NPCs that we have in here, one of them is called Metal Institution, and they're like a crew of bikers. We grew up really loving BMX stuff and riding, and we've incorporated that into here. But there's a group who's a heavy metal band, and they're a BMX crew that rides around the town, and there's an evil BMX crew that goes around stealing bikes like we had when we were little. There was a bunch of jerks who were around stealing bikes, but they're at odds with this other group, but they're called Metal Institution. They're in a metal band, and they actually were a metal band when we were quite younger. Like Bloodhair's been in several bands. Yeah, he does rock out. I would, but I have no musical ability. I can hear music, but it's the best I can do. But each class has a quote about music. I know the Bully is a Skid Row lyric. They're from the 80s. And then, well, but basically, I'd like to add more. Like, the Metalhead has a Metallica quote.
Drop the quote on them.
From one, darkness imprisoning me, all the sea, absolute horror. The Sleazing in the City, you know, I'm looking for a fight from Piece of Me by Skid Row. The Hood has a Judas Priest quote. The Punk Rocker has a 45 Grave quote. So hopefully most 80s people at least know them. There's a Madonna quote on one of them. There's a Depeche Mode quote. Ice-T. Joe the Bean Esposito, I'm sure y'all are familiar with that. He did the best song from the Karate Kid.
You're the best around. Nothing's going to ever keep you down. Yeah, no, we very much tried to work in as much flavor as we could. Also in the back of the book, like how they had the appendix in the back of the Dungeon Master's Guide for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And Gary Gygax listed his things you need to check out that relate to this. Josh came up with this whole huge appendix in type thing that has, I mean, what all did you put in that?
Well, I put things that relate to the 80s, that relate actually to the 80s. Like, I made a list of TV shows and movies, not necessarily the best things from the 80s. Like, the best movie from the 80s would be Empire Strikes Back, but that doesn't really relate to what happened in the 80s.
Right.
Or Aliens is like, well, it doesn't really tell you about the 80s. But I made a chart, like, it'll have, like, Better Off Dead, Beverly Hills Cop, Big Trouble in Little China, Bill and Ted, BMX Bandits, check that one out, Police Academy, Porky. So you want to get in the mood for the 80s movies, even if you didn't live in the 80s, just go down this list. And there's newer movies like Hot Tub Time Machine, that relates to the 80s, and Adventureland is a really, really good.
Super 8.
Super 8 is mostly a good relation to 8 as a monster in the mood and anything. But I made a list of music too, like for alternative and punk rock. And I'm a big music person, so I try to go deep. It's just like punk rock, I'm not going to just list the Clash. But you get bands like, you get the Corrosion of Conformity or Crass, Fear, 45 Grave, and then the garage punk like Husker Du, or the Replacements, which is like my favorite band of all time, where most people never even heard of them, unfortunately. But also like hair metal, like not just Poison and Winger. You get Bang Tango, Britney Fox, Striper, Vixen. You know, go deep into that one. There's pop, and then speed and thrash metal, which we're both really into. And what's Emperor Leto, who helps us out.
Yeah,
He's a
God,
big
Emperor
metalhead.
Leto, Jeff Cape. Yeah,
he loves the thrash, like Annihilator, Carnivore, Celtic Frost, Death Angel, King Diamond for Tommy, our artist. But then there's also a list of fads I put down, like that you could just, even if you're from the 80s, you're gonna be triggered and remember, like, oh, I remember arcades and Baby on Board, Signs, boom boxes, breakdancing, Cabbage Patch Kid, calculator watches, Carl Lewis, etc. Glowworms.
Where's the Beef?
Where's the Beef is one of the listings of it.
Hey, start off. There's not a Boy Scout class or outdoor type kid per se. There kind of needs to be, but there is the farm country kid.
Yeah, I'll have for the next batch of classes, I have Survivalist as one of the ones I'm working on. But in the character backgrounds, there's one that you roll if you get your parents are doomsday preppers, and you get a bonus. Your parents are doomsday preppers. You live in the country and have a large underground bunker. You get a +1 to hunting and fishing and a +1 to your toughness. But that's not a class, so I definitely like the idea of having an outdoors person. So that's one of the ones we're working on for the next book.
Yeah, we're trying to cover all the major bases. We want every archetype, classic archetype of the 80s, and to be represented somehow, so that they have that as somebody who wanted to play that type of archetype as the option. Also, one thing, and this is a question I've got several times, and Josh just mentioned it, made me think of it. A lot of people say, is anything like Big Trouble in Little China? Well, it's Big Trouble in Little China with teens. You could definitely pull off that thing, and in fact, that's the tone and the flavor I prefer when I'm running it. I also saw there was a question we missed, Josh, that asked if we were running a campaign currently. We just started a campaign.
Playtesting again.
Yeah. Our playtesting had all been like one shots. All right, but we just started a campaign last Saturday. That's going to be an ongoing campaign. So we've done a lot of play testing, but they were all one shots with the specific goal of let's test this, let's figure this part out. So, but we will definitely be running our own campaign set in this world.
Oh yeah,
And then I participated in a campaign that got Emperor Leto II on YouTube. It was, I wouldn't say a campaign, I'd say a mini campaign, because it was three sessions of that was essentially all one big adventure. So I participated in that, and that one got a little crazy, but anything's possible with this, that's for sure.
For Big Trouble in Little China stuff, in the core book, there's a lot of monsters, but I kind of avoided ghosts for now. But we definitely want to put those in there, because ghost rules generally take another level, because you have to worry about incorporeal and have things that could, because what's the kid on a bike going to do to a ghost? I mean, nothing. I mean, so we got to work on something. Like, there's people that can see them and maybe incorporate a class that talk to them more like another goth type. But yeah, we'll definitely, I mean, you can always create them too as well. I hadn't thought, I wanted to wait for another book to add more rules, because it's just not a typical monster. There we go.
5 minutes to go, guys. We're up to $7,673. Woohoo! So awesome.
You just said something I couldn't read it.
Oh, yeah. Poltergeist. Yeah.
Those are huge 80s things, but there's generally no way to fight them. So you have to maybe make scenarios or special rules. But
I was going to say
GMs can do that.
Mm-hmm. And then also one of the things, and I don't know if this has been out there or not, but one of the things that is an option is third-party publishing for this. So we are definitely going with the route of DCC. So if somebody wants to create their own Dark Places and Demogorgons adventures, that is great. Let's see. I'm interested in playing a middle school age kid, a la, oops, it just went away, a la Stand By Me, Goonies, etc. Easy to tweak existing classes, or maybe a future supplement.
Well,
it's very easy to tweak.
Each class has 5 levels. Now, I think the rules, you say it's 14 plus D4 for age.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just change that. You can just say, look, we're going to start at 12.
Yeah.
Level is normally that just means you're not going to be messing with cars or anything sooner. Now, you never know. I mean, I knew some people that could drive a car when they were 12 years old, so you could maybe put that into the game. But yeah, the age, you can easily say, let's start at 11 or 12. That's why I think in the next book, I'm going to make an optional rules and make it by 6, instead of level 1, 2, or 3, make it 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, freshman, and on. So that way you get an extra couple levels, and as you age, you can, well, it'll give you an option, because sometimes you might want to play more, you might level faster than your age. Then again, you just level slower. It just depends on, I've never been a big XP person in my games. I can judge where you are, and I kind of put you where I think you should be. Whereas, and people get greedy, they start fighting over XP, and so it's like, and then we're gonna share it all. And
yeah, see, and
I almost sit there and do the math. It's 35.
Luckily, I was able to handle the XP. What? The thumbs up! Can't wait to get this game. Thanks for. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, but when I created the Survive the Zombies, I came up with an XP system that I'm actually really proud of, and that's carried over into this game. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a good XP system.
Oh, did you see the new It movie? Fits right with the theme. It does fit right with the theme. I actually have not seen it. We have tried to get out and go see it as a family because all of us want to see it, and it just has not worked out. I've heard nothing but great things about it, and it's making a ton of money at the box office. But yeah, that definitely would fit right into. Because I'm familiar, I've read it. I'm a big Stephen King fan, so it definitely would fit right into what we're doing here. In fact, there's a Stephen King adventure seed in there that we got. We call it the Phantom Fairlane, but really it's just a play on Christine. Stranger Things light, yes. Yeah, you can do that. Most definitely.
Yeah, you can be Stranger Things advanced as well. It depends on what you want to.
Yeah, and this game is easily customizable. I mean, if you've ever tweaked any old school Dungeons and Dragons, this is the same thing. So you know, I don't want to say our game does it all, but if you want to play it, there's pretty much an easy way to do it, and the game system is fluid enough to where you can tweak things and move things around without really breaking the game. In most cases, I mean, you can do some things that break the game, but all right. So we're down to less than a minute, guys.
You never know. I mean, you have to do a lot of play testing before you figure something gets broken.
Yeah.
So people who get the PDF early. The original version, if you find something broken, please let us know.
Yeah,
because there's always something, like even like in D&D, I remember 3.5 making classes and go, well, you put these 2 feats together, it's ridiculous, it's broken. So yeah,
or 2 classes.
Yeah, if you cross classes. Yeah.
Hey Chris, the backers will get the PDF. Basically, it takes 2 weeks, I've been told, 2 weeks for the funds to clear. Once the funds clear, what I'm going to do is I will get the backers the PDF through DriveThru RPG .com, and they will get what I refer to as the review copy. So it's going to be the game as it is now, but there's some typos, some stuff that we already know. But so So we'll get that in your hands. That'll be about 2 weeks after close. All right, guys, it just ended. Woohoo! 263 backers, $7,683. Awesome. But so Chris, it'll be about 2 weeks. You'll get that copy, and then once everything's updated, I'll put out the updated one, and then we'll go to print. I just want to make sure to get as many eyeballs on there to catch anything that's wrong before we send it to print. That way, for those backers who are getting the print copies, when you get the print copies in hand, you get the best version possible. Man, I tell you what, guys, I am floored here. All right, so now I get to start my thank yous, because to say that I am feeling grateful and just blessed by this. Love the ideas for the grade levels. Yeah, that's definitely going to be in the J-Town source book, because we're definitely like that. But you know, there's a few people who this game couldn't have happened without. I kind of want to thank Josh. Start off.
Just
Kinda. I don't want to thank him because he's right here. Oh, thanks, Starwell. But you know, a lot. I took this to him at a very early stage, and we were able to get going. I want to thank all the writers. So I want to thank Jason Shane, Bill Logan, and Anthony C. Hunter, who contributed. I want to thank Tommy Stamper for the cover art. I want to thank all my interior artists, especially Bradley K. McDivitt and I'm totally drawing a blank, and Joe Singleton and Dan Smith. Then I've got to thank all the reviewers too. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to even see all the reviews that they've done on this, but Runeslinger, Ivan Mike, Questwise, Skinner Games, Nicholas Skinner over at Skinner Games, The Undead Viking, God Emperor Leto II, just so many great reviewers who took the time and gave us, you know, I told them to say if it's bad, tell me, and a lot of them told me, so I'll tell you if it's bad, and they all gave us positive reviews. And then, you know, to thank all the backers, because man, you guys made this Saw 5 or 6. You may be able to. I don't know. I've never saw Saw 5 or 6, so we'd have to.
Reference to.
Yeah, but man, without the backers, I mean, and everybody also who just shared out the information. I mean, we ended up with 263 backers, which is just astounding to me. But to go further than that, just, you know, we had so many people who were supporting it, who maybe didn't back, but they at least shared out. You know, I keep telling everybody thank you, and I said in an earlier video, I said I feel like I've said thank you a million times, and I hope it doesn't come across as not genuine, because I really just feel overwhelmingly blessed that everybody has had such a positive response. No Saw 5. Oh, okay.
I only saw 5 or 6 of the reviews. I was wondering why.
Okay, I was like, that came out of left field, but we'll figure it out. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. Man, thank you everybody who stuck with us. This kind of became a pretty exciting chat tonight. I'm glad that y'all hung in there with us and we're asking questions and stuff, because you know, it would have been hard for me to sit here for 2 hours and talk. Very, very difficult. Before we go, do you guys got any more questions or anything that we can answer? Oh wow, it's your first OSR purchase. Well, I hope that we don't let you down. That's very cool though. Wow, very honored to be your first OSR purchase.
If you played any of the old D&D games, you'll be able to pick it up easily, no problem.
Or really any role-playing game, because most games are derivative of Dungeons and Dragons, so you'll definitely be able to pick it up. All right. Hope to see some more DP&D gameplay live stream. Yeah, I hope to do that. I'm trying to figure out how to record it right now. Once I can figure out how to record it, I'm going to run some sessions online for some people. I'm not super technically savvy, so I got to get with Jeff Cape and figure out how he does it and then replicate that, but I hope to do it. Anyway, seriously, congrats. Thanks, Chris. Really appreciate that, man. I can't wait for you guys to get it in your hands. Like I said, in 2 weeks, I'll release it on DriveThru RPG for everybody, and then you'll be able to see it and get a feel for the game, and hopefully start a big open dialogue with everybody in the community, everybody who supported it, and that way we can get any errors fixed before it goes to print, and then get the print out to you guys as soon as possible with the all the stretch goals and stuff coming soon. Probably stretch goals will probably be here about the same time as the print stuff. I'm an 80s kid who played the Mincer Red Box and still run Palladium. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Well, you know what? Yeah, you sound like you and I have had a lot of the same background. That was my way into D&D, was the Mincer Red Box. In fact, the kids who I met who were playing Dungeons & Dragons, they were playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. I got the Mincer Red Box at a yard sale. Didn't know that there was a difference between Advanced Dungeons & Dragons and Dungeons & Dragons. I thought it was all just one and the same, and that's how I learned how to play. And then, of course, Josh has been playing D&D forever, and we both love Palladium. So we've been friends since we were mid-teens. So, and now we're old. All right, guys. Well, with that, I'm going to sign off so I can go kiss my wife and then maybe drop one line. Expect to see an update from me tonight on backer update on the Kickstarter. Thanking everybody, and thanks Arl. And then we'll be back at it. I'm going to stay tuned to my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, and because I'm still going to be talking about in the next coming days about Dark Places and Demogorgons and stuff, and letting everybody know how everything's going. So thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.